Hi, third grade. The last time we had art class, we talked about media and medium, and that means it's just a fancy word for art materials. And we also talked about Frida Kahlo, and she had a lot of different pets, and one of the pets that she had were a few different monkeys. So we are going to be making today a monkey using some very, very common media from your house. I'm hoping and pretty sure everybody should have at least a few of these around. You're going to need three plastic shopping bags. So I have three here, right here. And the shopping bags are going to end up being the color of the monkeys. So I would try and use a color like gray, or sometimes you can have tan shopping bags. Even white shopping bags would work too. Sometimes when I collect shopping bags throughout the year, I find a few yellow ones or red ones, so you could make a fun colored monkey too if you wanted. But you're going to need those. Then you're going to need something to stuff the bags with. If you get the newspaper at home, that's awesome. You could use sheets of newspaper. If you don't get newspaper, you could just use some junk mail. I have some junk mail saved up here. Or you could just use different scraps of paper. You could use other plastic bags if you wanted. You're probably going to need some scissors and perhaps a Sharpie. Definitely some tape. If you don't have tape at home, you could also use rubber bands to make this work too. And then maybe some cardboard. This was just cardboard that I tore off of the box. And joining me here seems to be my special helper, Meow-Meow. He's just sniffing my bags. So when we start making our monkey, you're going to take your first bag, if the cat will let me have one. And when you take your bag, you want to make sure that you lay it nice so you can kind of understand the way that the bag is shaped. So when you look at it and flatten it out, it's kind of a rectangle. It's got two handles on it. And then it's got some sides to it. But right now, we're going to worry about making sure that there's no holes in the bag. So I see that there's a tiny little hole right there. If you have a tiny hole in your bag, you could just kind of patch it up with tape. That's not a problem. If you have a bigger hole, then you're not going to be able to use the bag. Okay, so for now, I have my first bag. This is going to end up being the monkey's head and body, but we're going to start with the ears. So I'm taking a sheet of paper. I have to make sure I flatten it completely out. I'm going to just tear off a little piece, maybe about this size, and crumble it up until it's about the size of a grape. Let's see. Teeny tiny little grape. Probably about that size. Okay. Once I have that, I'm going to keep it squeezed in my fingers. I'm going to go up inside the bag all the way into the corner of the bag. Push it into the corner. And then twist it, just like you're closing a bag of bread. You're going to twist it a couple times so it stays there. So this is going to be my first monkey ear. Now it gets a little tricky. If you're working at home and you have a younger brother or sister, or you have a friend, or you have a mom, dad, grandma, cousin who's going to help you, they're going to hold this in place so that you could tape around the ear. Now, this is one of those... Meow. This is one of those things where if you don't have tape, you could just use rubber band to rubber band around the ear to keep it in place. But I'm going to use the tape. Kind of go around the ear like this. Okay. If you are having a hard time with a tape dispenser, if you look really closely at the tape dispenser, there's these little saw teeth at the end. Those are made to cut the tape. And the best way to do it is to hold the tape in your hand, to pull the tape out, and then if I put my thumb on top of those little blades, as long as I'm not pushing down too far or too hard, and as long as I'm not sliding my thumb back and forth, it'll be okay. But that's going to help me push the tape down into the blade to cut the tape. Okay, and now I have that tape cut. I'm going to leave that right here for later. Okay, so I did one ear for my monkey now. I'm going to do the same thing to make an ear on the other side. A little bit of paper, crumble it up, push it into the corner, Twist like I'm closing bread. And close it up. Okay, so these are the 2 ears of my monkey. The next is to make a head. For the head, I'm going to need some paper. And I'm going to try and, first it helps if you open these up and crumble them up to make a ball of newspaper about the size of a baseball. Okay, maybe about that size. Maybe even a little bigger if you wanted to go bigger. But I'm going to take this. Meow-Meow's going to do his thing. So I'm going to take this ball that I made and I'm going to put it up inside the bag in between the 2 ears. And I'm going to pull the bag around. And now this is the head of the monkey. So I have the 2 ears and the head. And now I'm going to twist the bag just like I'm closing the bread. And then you would either put your rubber band around or your tape around. Okay, so now it looks like a ghost monkey. There's a monkey head, there's ears, and there's this kind of rest of the bag here as the bottom. We're going to make a body to fill in the rest of this bag here. So when I make my body, I want to make like a burrito shape. So I'm going to take a couple of these crumbled up papers. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to try and take, let's see, a bigger sheet. Put this in the corner, and I'm going to pretend like I'm making a burrito. I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. Ta-da! This is about my burrito size. If you wanted the body bigger, then you could just go and add more paper around it to make it bigger. Okay, so the body's going to go up under where the head is. I'm going to place it around. I got to pull the bag tight around this. Now this is one of those times where you're going to wish you had a couple more fingers or hands to help. So if you have somebody at home who can help you with that, that would be great. And I'm going to gather around to the body. Now what I'm left with on the bottom of this bag are these 2 loops where the handles of the bag were. These 2 loops are pretty important. They almost look like bunny ears. This is how I'm going to seal the bottom of the monkey in. I'm going to take these 2 loops, crisscross them and tie them just like I'm tying shoelaces in a double knot, and that's going to keep the bag around the body. Okay, so there's my monkey now. And then some students, what they like to do with these 2 ends is they like to turn these into the legs for the monkey. I like to find a little hole in the bag somewhere, a little opening, and then I like to try and take these 2 ties and kind of tuck them in. And then once I tuck them in there, I'll take some more tape and I'll tape that down. Okay, so I have the basic part of my monkey done. I have the head, the ears, and the body. Now it's time for the arms, the legs, and the tail. So we're going to look at these shopping bags again. Okay, and I'm going to take this shopping bag and I am going to cut it right down the middle with my scissors. Through both front and back sides of the bag, all the way down. Okay, then what I usually do is now I have the place where the handle was, and then I have the top part of the bag here. I'm going to take this and just fold this in so everything's nice and even. Okay, then you could do this two ways. You can either take tape and you could tape around the middle, or if you would rather just tie your knot, tie a knot right in the middle. Okay, the knot's great if you don't have a lot of tape at home. I just ran out of tape. Okay. And then between the knot that you just tied, or the place where you just gathered and taped, and the end, you're going to find the middle. So if I'm looking at the section between here and here, this is my middle. This is where I'm going to try and tie another knot. Same thing with the other half, between the knot and the end, right in the middle, I'm going to try and tie another knot. Okay, now if you can do it at the very end of these bags, I like tying a little knot. Sometimes that's really hard to do. Sometimes you have to just get that little end in there and slide it down so you can get that knot in there. Okay, if you can't get the knot, you could tape and you could tape around. Ooh. This is going to be a really fun activity at home if you have any pets. Okay, now this is one set of arms. This is the right arm, this is the left arm, and this in the center is where you're going to attach it to your monkey, so that these are going to be your two monkeys' arms. So if this is my monkey here, I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to tape it right alongside the back. Also, you want to notice that when you touch the tape with your finger, if you pull your finger away from the tape, you're going to see your fingerprint on that tape. That's all the oils from your fingers coming off on the adhesive. The more you touch your tape, the less sticky it's going to get. So if you really want your monkey to hold together really well, you don't want to touch the sticky part as much as you can. Okay, so I just taped this part in here like this. Now it's time to do the legs. I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully the cat will let me do this. I'm going to take my bag, line it up, flatten it out. This is the top part. I'm going to fold it in, tie a knot in the center. Between the center and the end, I'm going to find the new middle, tie a knot. Between this center and this end, tying another knot in the middle. And if you can, at the very end for your little arms and for your little feet, I guess these are going to be your feet, you're going to try and tie your knot. That one's a tricky one. Okay, so now I have my legs. I'm going to tape them, I'm going to tape the middle of them to the bottom of my monkey so that they kind of fold in half a little bit, and now my monkey has little legs on the bottom. Okay, and then the last part of my monkey is going to be the tail. There's a lot of different ways you could do your tail. You could use your third bag. You can cut it and make a really long thing just like you did with your arms and your legs, and you could tape that on like it's a tail. You can take a piece of cardboard, and then with your grown-up helping you, you can cut it into a strip. Sometimes if you cut it and loop it around a marker, if you twist it around a marker, you get a little curl at the end, right? Because sometimes the monkeys have the curly tail. And you're going to tape it at the bottom. I think I taped my arms along the back like this. So this is the face side of my monkey. So I want to make sure I tape the tail on the back of the monkey, not the front of the monkey. Okay. And now for your face, there's a couple different things you could do. You could either draw your monkey face on some scrap paper and cut it out and tape it on. Now if I did this, I would cut out each separate part. So each eye I would cut out. So if there's my eye, I'm going to cut that out and then tape it on. Put it in the right spot. Tape it down. Okay, and you could do whatever kind of face you want. You can make accessories to put on your monkeys. In the past, I've had students make little cell phones, wristwatches, crowns, costumes, dresses, whatever they wanted for their monkey. So just have fun with this. And then after you're done, you're going to try to upload a photo of your monkey onto the Seesaw app so you can share with your friends what you've been working on. I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Bye.